Hi Marc, and welcome to the weekly Outside Views report on the politics of the European Union. The Ukrainian armed forces have already received about 220,000 artillery shells and mortar shells through the new EU ammunition supply initiative. That was announced by a spokeswoman for EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell on Tuesday after a meeting of defense ministers in Brussels. In addition, according to their information, around 1,300 missiles were delivered, including anti-tank missiles, anti-ship missiles, and anti-aircraft missiles. In March, the EU member states promised Ukraine to provide 1 million new artillery shells and missiles for the defensive war against Russia, and that within 12 months. They are to be organized from the stocks of the member states, but in future also via new joint procurement projects. And against the background of the Russian war of aggression, the EU has continued to pay billions in aid to Ukraine. The 1.5 billion euros are already the fourth tranche of Ukraine aid, as the EU Commission announced in Brussels on Tuesday. Up to 18 billion euros are planned as part of the macro-financial assistance package. Since the beginning of this year, the EU has already disbursed 7.5 billion euros in macro-financial assistance. These funds make a significant contribution to covering Ukraine's immediate financial needs. And there is more to come. That was said by Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, according to the statement on Tuesday. This should continue to pay wages and pensions and maintain hospitals, schools, and accommodation for resettled people. The aid is tied to Ukraine meeting certain conditions. Among other things, the rule of law should be strengthened and it should be made transparent where this money goes. Under the conditions, the next 1.5 billion should flow to Ukraine in June. Since the beginning of the war in February 2022, Ukraine has received aid payments of around 70 billion euros, it said in a statement. And this included, for example, financial, humanitarian, budgetary, and military support from the EU, but also from the member states and the European financial institutions. And talking about this war, Poland, like other countries, will take part in the training of Ukrainian fighter pilots. This was confirmed on Tuesday by Poland's Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak. Dutch Defense Minister Kajsa Ollongren said that the Netherlands, together with Denmark, are also ready to start training. The next step will be to talk to other countries about who has F-16 fighter jets available. Ukraine has long been pushing for Western allies to deliver fighter jets to the country attacked by Russia. And US President Biden cleared the way for training last Friday. The country supports the training of Ukrainian pilots on F-16 fighter jets, as was announced at the G7 summit. While the training is running, a decision will then be made together with other partners as to who will deliver how many aircraft and when. The USA plays a key role here, not only because of its own large stocks. They must also approve any export of F-16s from Allied inventories. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg thanked the participating states for the fighter jet training. This creates the opportunity to make a decision about the delivery later. That's what the Norwegian said in Brussels. According to German Federal Defense Minister Boris Pistorius, Germany is also currently examining whether Germany can help with training. However, he emphasized that the Federal Republic has no fighter jets of the F-16 type and presumably cannot help much with pilot training. We are currently examining the few possibilities that could theoretically exist, said the minister. And then they will say whether they can and want to make the contribution. EU Foreign Policy Chief Borrell initially said on Tuesday morning that pilot training in Poland had already begun. Defense Minister Błaszczak contradicted this in the afternoon, but Poland is ready to start training. And we all must hope that the aid for Ukraine continues as long as it's necessary. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.